I have always hated the idea of sleeping during the day. But this time, I was so tired that I decided to lie down on my bed and close my eyes for a minute. It was 4:32 on my watch when I went to bed, and I knew I finished all my chores, so I took a deep breath and slept. I had a dream and I remember some details. It was raining and I was in the backyard. My mother built an extra room for the house some years ago. The room was next to my parents' room, which was next to me, and there were two ways to enter that room. One way was going up the stairs in the backyard that would lead into the iron gate or through the crystal door in my parents' bedroom. In my dream, I remember going up those stairs, but instead of going into the extra room, I stood there near the end of the stairs, staring inside of my own room. I could perfectly see the figure of someone sleeping out on my bed, but was it me? That's all I remember. The sound of raindrops hitting the ceiling woke me up. It took me a minute to realize that I was back to reality, and I got up to take a look out the window. Just like in my dream, it was raining. Strangest thing in my town, but I thought it was time for it to happen already, so I didn't pay much attention to it. I checked my watch and discovered that the needles were not moving, and that they had stopped since 4:34 p.m. In my need to know the hour, I tried turning on my computer and my TV, but nothing happened. It looked like there was no electricity in my house. I walked to the hallway and looked for my parents in their bedroom, but they were not there. I kept on searching in the kitchen, the living room, and the dining room, but the house seemed empty. They must have gone to the grocery store or something, I thought. When I headed to the front door to go out and check if the car was there, I saw that it had an enormous lock keeping the door shut. It was one of those bold, heavy locks made of the hardest steel, but what the hell was it doing there? My parents wouldn't allow such a thing. I looked around the first floor, but there were no keys. I don't mean I was looking for the lock's keys. I was looking for any of the keys I use in my house, but there was nothing. I tried to use the telephone, but the line was dead. That's when I realized that I still had my cell phone in my pocket. Dead battery. Now I was freaking out. I checked the back entrance and discovered that it too was locked. So were all the windows. What was going on? I went into my room and checked my watch again, but it was still frozen. I walked through the dark halls of my house and checked the darkest corners, but I just couldn't think of an explanation or a way out. Then, I remembered the crystal door in my parents' room. It was locked, but it was no big deal since it was made of such a weak material, so I grabbed a desk lamp and I made a hole big enough for me to go through. It's a problem when you don't think things twice, and now, with the crystal door broken, I still need to open the iron gate before going to the backyard and to the streets to know what was going on. I knew there would be no use in trying to open the gate, so I went into the extra room. It was empty as always. It was a large, empty room with white walls and floor, and the only light was coming from a window close to the entrance. Despite the illumination coming from it, the opposite side of the room was filled with a deep dark. The more I looked into that darkness, the more I felt something was there, staring directly at my eyes. A chill went down my spine and I decided to go back to my parents' room. There was no way I was leaving the crystal door like that, so I pushed my dad's desk and blocked the entrance between me and the horrible room. It is midnight, I guess, and the sun has gone down. My parents, like the electricity, are not here yet. Actually, I don't know if I'll see them again. Since it got darker, strange noises have been coming from that room, and even though I locked my door, I know there is no use. I saw a big, dark figure opening the iron fence and positioning itself on the stairs of the backyard. It has stared at me for over an hour, and I have been here, scared and not moving a muscle. It went back to the room, and now I can hear him pushing my dad's desk with no effort. It's coming for me. It's outside the door of my room. I'm scared. Help.